will have some engage tools.
Yep, Sejuani, great pick for Amazing. His most played, 5 picks throughout, and wow, very fast. Couple of picks there. Broken Blade having a laugh as Aatrox and Gragas do get locked in. I wonder if 100 Thieves would grab Yasuo as a denial even.
Right.
Because as soon as you see the Gragas, you're thinking Yasuo. So you're kind of having to make the decision, all right, do we want it, independent of the Gragas? Do we want to deny it? Or are we just going to try to pick something that is maybe good into it? You have a few different options as how you want to play that out. If you're really expecting it, something like a renekton actually can be a pretty good pick paired up alongside the Sejuani and very strong in that 1v1.
Oh, gotta wait to see. Last few seconds to go. They're gonna say, no, Corki's the priority right now. Highly prized mid laner, very standard. Again, big front line, plenty of damage in the back line. We do definitely have like a lot of standard teamfight comps coming back into the meta.
And there's no guarantee that TSM does actually go for the Yasuo. You're just thinking that, it's certainly a possibility. We have seen it played, this combo played bot lane. We have seen it obviously played mid jungle. It is going to be TF, so no Yasuo just yet, but Zven did have one Yasuo game in which they played Gragas Yasuo bot. That wasn't a loss for TSM, but there is still a possibility, if it is left up, to be picked up later on.
And now TF has become Bjergsen's most played champion of the split. Pick number 4 for him right now, outstripping his Azir and his Zillions from earlier on in the summer split now. So it's time for the second ban phase. What we've got right now is some disjointed picks. No top laner for 100 Thieves. No jungler, no support picked up for TSM. So we'll see if those get striated. You're seeing the Kled ban that you were referencing earlier on.
Yeah.
That one's not going to be allowed. Again, we did see FakeGod play yesterday. I'm expecting jungle bans out of 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and Kled fairly decent matchup into Aatrox, especially with that healing debuff now added to the second part of the queue. Can be pretty effective against that Aatrox. Also pretty good mobility-wise, using Joust to actually dodge out of those sweet spots. The Pike ban actually coming through here, so certainly 100 Thieves expecting some sort of trickiness or aggression to be coming through.
Could be.
Very interesting to see that actually targeted as a ban, because Smoothie has yet to play Pike this year.
Yeah. And one thing I want to point out, again, think about the fact that TSM threw a bunch of support bans in, and you alluded to it earlier, they could just play the Gragas Yasuo bot lane. Like, that Gragas could be flexed, and they got to support all along the entire time, and they were happy to run all these bans down. So that's still going to be interesting to see if that's a bot lane pick or not. TF, I actually think you could play TF bot lane, for example, and it wouldn't even be that bad. I expect it to be on Bjergsen, but hey, you never know. Things can move around. So 100 Thieves, will it be another support ban, and will it even matter if Gragas is the pick?
Yeah, so Caitlyn going to be another ban. So they are not expecting that Yasuo bot, at least just yet, or perhaps, daring TSM to actually go for it.
Yeah, I don't think it won last time. It looked pretty ugly. And in fact, here's the Sivir hover. So might just be that. And of course, Tahm Kench is up. So like Sivir Tahm Kench is a completely normal bot lane. You could just play and it would be completely fine. Yeah,
kind of interesting with so many bans targeted towards bottom lane with all these supports and everything that we may end up with such standard meta picks regardless.
Yeah.
But 100 Thieves now going to be having their choices here as far as AD and top to round out their composition.
I like this.
It will actually be the renekton, it looks like here, for FakeGod. I do think this is quite good. Renekton is a fairly good matchup into the Aatrox, and if there were any crazy things happening, renekton is going to be a fairly standard matchup that can really lane well against anything.
Most things, yeah. Of course, in this patch, got the healing debuff added to the empower. Oh no, that's the shield killer. Sorry, I'm backwards in that one. If there's any shielding on TSM, which there's not, it would be useful there. But Ezreal, most pristine bot lane pick, going to come through. So 100 Thieves playing a very standard composition. Bang on the Ezreal should feel pretty comfortable. You've got a braum alongside him, so very, very safe down there. I mean, braum Ezreal pretty much can't die if you don't hard hit the lane. So it lets 100 Thieves play super hard around top lane, and sejuani renekton is a lot of gank pressure.
Yeah, it really is. It's just interesting because they traditionally haven't been playing through their top laner, FakeGod. They have been more kind of like, all right, you do your own thing, you survive. But it does feel like that would be the best place to go as far as the ganks, certainly. Nautilus is going to be the lock, so it will be Gragas jungle for Akaadian. Nautilus and Sivir as their bot laners, and that is a lot of engage potential there. Sivir ultimate, Gragas has fantastic engage, Nautilus point and click ultimate that is going to be really strong there as well.
Yeah.
And it feels like you know, the plan is going to be more of like a 1-3-1 style for TSM. Spread the map using your TF, using your Aatrox, and have this kind of 3-man squad that has a lot of strong wave clear in it, whereas 100 Thieves feel much more like this is a group 5, look to team fight, braum, sejuani, renekton, really strong frontliners, and some good backline access from their 2 carries on the Corki and the Ezreal.
All right, going to be an exciting one there as the last swaps have gone back and forth. We've got a very volatile matchup at the top lane, Aatrox versus renekton, with some aggressive junglers to boot alongside that one. Ryu and Bjergsen playing essentially marksman down here. AD Twisted Fate has been the most common build, and after Triforce, it's a bunch of crit chance. So going to see high damage sources in the back lines here, plenty of frontline as well, plenty of engage. And we'll see if TSM can split up the map with Destiny and the rest of their map movements. 100 Thieves need to pick up some wins. They are on the outside of playoffs, a game and a half back. 2 wins to pick up with 3 to play. And TSM only 1 win behind a playoff bye. Hoping to get back to that level of excellence that their fans are used to. Back to the same starting lineup they got to the LCS finals with just a few months ago. Hoping this time around it's a little bit of a cleaner run as the fans are ready. We are as well. Let's get in the game. 100 Thieves versus TSM.
And funny enough, Akaadian immediately as they load into Summoner's Rift, pinging Ocean Dragon spawns in 457. So certainly could be a big target there. Anytime it is a first dragon ocean, you often want to play around that bottom side. You want to be playing for that dragon because if you can get, you know, that 5-6 minute ocean, you're going to be in such an incredibly strong spot for the remainder of that laning phase. So, you know, teams may have to kind of change up their plan and cater what they wanted to do to that.
And we'll see what happens in the early game. Amazing did start with a very quick sweeper instead of the standard warding totem that most other people put down, so we'll see if that gets exciting.
Also worth noting that this is the same matchup that Bjergsen played yesterday. Smoothie in his interview afterwards had kind of said, hey, things went wrong around mid lane. That's why the game was so hard for us. And he was referencing the 2v2 that Akaadian and Bjergsen did lose, you know, where Mike Young came in with the Elise and they got a couple kills. But Bjergsen spent really the rest of that game sitting under turret, getting pushed in nonstop. And, you know, we'll see if Bjergsen can make the matchup look different today because he certainly was on the receiving end, you know, down heavily in farm, locked under his turret, and wasn't really able to make the roams.
We are into this one with no crazy shenanigans in the early game. Not even a ward swept out by Amazing Sweeper, so no extra gains here as Bjergsen gets poked. And everyone else is going to feel pretty comfortable as we get to the lanes with no major issues. Looks like a leashless start for Akaadian on the Raptors, but 100 Thieves actually going to help out Amazing over there on the red buff.
Yeah, and that'll be pretty nice for him, speeding things up a little bit. You can also note it is Klepto versus Klepto there in the mid lane, so Ryu and Bjergsen both going to be taking that rune and, you know, looking to try to trade autos back and forth, you know, stack up that additional gold. We'll see who's going to be able to kind of get the better of the two in that matchup.
Just last hitting so far back and forth with no major issues. Level 2 first for Ryu. Well, except for Bjergsen can't knock him down just yet as now the levels are equalized. It's been a pretty chill start right now, but the first push goes to TSM over the bot lane.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think when you see the Ocean Dragon spawning earlier and you have Sivir or Nautilus going against the Ezreal braum, you're expecting to have priority on that bot side. You know, that certainly is a lane that should be able to push, that should be able to kind of secure an advantage down there. They are able to shove it all the way up to the turret, and Smoothie gets a ward on the Krug, so they know very likely Amazing is doing a full bot side clear. So that is, you know, quite a bit of information gleaned from the fact that they had that push and get that one ward down.
Means they can then kind of glean, okay, Amazing's going to be top side now for 3 minutes till, you know, about 3:45 or so into the game. So now it's going to be Broken Blade has to be respectful of what Amazing might do. And it's not even information that 100 Thieves totally know that was gained. They can see the Nautilus leave lane, but they don't know for sure what's going on. But again, as the point was given, Broken Blade should know he could be attacked now. They should expect sejuani topside, and he is under turret and should not play aggressively here.
Yeah, he's got to be fairly careful. There is no Krugs available for Amazing to actually counter jungle, but if Broken Blade checks this, oh,
nice pull right there, just out of turret range. So Smoothie able to cleanly take that trade, get a bit of damage towards Aphromoo.
They're looking for this potential dive. At the very least, they want to zone him off the wave. So you know, denying a lot of the CS, it is a nice little move. I do think Amazing was hoping to be able to get Krugs, not going to be able to do so as that had already been taken away, but you're going to miss the cannon. That was about 4 ranged and 1 melee. Yeah. So a nice little bit of gold. And also, you're not really sure, is the sejuani still in that bush? You know, this is scary to even walk back to if you're getting baited, but Broken Blade will make the move now. And You know, luckily for him, Amazing has gone back to farm his jungle.
So he's going to get the rest of this wave, but yeah, that is a lot of punishment very early on. So 27-14 in CS, gold difference, 280 right now.
Yeah, and you also know that Amazing, because we saw Krugs were down, is going to be still farming top side of the map. So you know that he could still be hanging around, that he could be in the river if the wave pushes out too far. So this is certainly a tough position to be in as a top laner with Gragas down on the bottom side. You don't have that backup, and you know Broken Blade likely will have to give up a lot of CS as a result.
Amazing, make your choice. What's going on here is it's going to be looking at the mid lane right now, it looks like, as top scuttle was already taken, but he's going to wait around, and in case there's some kind of mid lane pressure, he's going to be around, takes the recall, has about 900 gold to buy pieces of stuff, as Broken Blade now feels more comfortable and gets some really good trading off on FakeGod.
Yeah, that was really nice, hitting 2 sweet spots as well as that Deathbringer stance auto, you know, both healing and dealing the additional damage. Now they're looking for Zven. Great spell shield, though.
He gets away from the slow, so he's not going to be in danger really at all right now as Smoothie comes back down to the lane and can also feel comfortable. But the first TP came through. Bang does have his Sheen, has some lane pressure as a result, and is going to try to make Zven's life miserable, but shouldn't be too hard. Sivir basically already has Warhammer gold, and with the next wave has BF Sword gold.
Yep. Yeah, and Zven kind of played out that mind game very well. You know, Aphromoo is jumping to the minion and hoping that on the auto animation, he will spell shield, and then you can Q afterwards. But Zven just held it until he actually saw the Q animation. He actively spell shielded, so certainly proper play there from him. But now they're going pretty aggressive, and
One hit. There's the stun, and takes a lot of damage there. No follow-up to be had anymore, and finally anchors back to the wall to get away, but good punishment. Bang just outside of turret range there as well.
Yeah. And now, you know, Zven, sure, he has TP, he can come right back to lane. Smoothie cannot, so it is a little bit more dangerous if you want to teleport straight back in. Your dual lane will not be there with you. But 100 Thieves going to be receiving that teleport and just pushing in to Zven, where hopefully for him, he can pick up most of the CS.
And these lanes had a license to play aggressively. Both junglers actually were spotted on their Krugs by wards respectively, so it definitely gave them the chance to do that. Zven at half HP already.
Yeah, and this poke that they got means they're going to start dragon. You know, they know they pushed Smoothie back to base. They're actually teleporting braum back to the dragon. They see Akaadian now, though, and Amazing is getting a little bit low, so mid laners will be called over here.
They're going to play around this Drake a little bit, as of course it's very low HP, and Smoothie wants to pull it onto Amazing, goes over the wall. There's a nice pickup there for the Gragas. Nicely done as TSM shows up, and just no health bars big enough for Amazing there.
Yeah, someone needed to help tank there, but they're going to continue to chase, see if they can get something more.
Body comes back up already, so that's just TSM collapsing in time. Well played, good smite.
Yeah.
100 Thieves don't get rewarded at all.
I mean, that was a great job there by TSM on that collapse, but I have to say, I feel like a little bit of mismanagement on the aggro of the dragon. Someone should have helped Amazing to tank up that dragon a little bit more so he could have stayed healthier, because he didn't actually get to stay around. And great job there by Broken Blade, taunting him as he forces out the ultimate.
And Broken Blade, I mean, he mind gamed the juke correctly. He went backwards to the Q because he expected FakeGod to run forward. That was what happened right there, as again, the ult is burned, and FakeGod doesn't really have the sustain, as he now pushed a little bit out of this lane. Has the farm lead, and you can see he's got the BS ready. He's going for the Shojin rush.
Yeah. I mean, he's still in a pretty good spot, but has to be careful with the fact that Broken Blade has the ultimate advantage now and would have all that additional healing. But likewise, you know, Broken Blade with Ryu on this roam, there is potential for the dive here, ultimate or not.
He's going to go for the play right here, finds the stun, good damage, gets knocked up though. A lot of health comes back in, Broken Blade played it right, commits the flash, gets the healing.
He got both their flashes there. Smoothie is going to get the hook. I'm not sure how that went through Aphromoo. That looked pretty strange. Aphromoo tried to flash in front of the Nautilus hook, but it connected to the wall beside him there. So things going very well here for TSM on both sides of the map. They escape on the bottom side, getting Aphromoo's flash. They get both of the solo lane flashes in a failed dive on Broken Blade as well. So TSM could be really happy about those last 2 exchanges.
Oh, imagine winning lane, splitting top side, and your bot lane's doing better. This is the matchup that spawned the meme. So this is exciting.
I forgot about that. So here's this one more time. Let's see. So he tries to...
It was late.
Oh, yeah.
The flash is late.
The hook was actually already past where Aphromoo flashed to, so he would have had to flash a little bit earlier there to be able to make that connect with him, and then maybe they could have, you know, gotten a flash at least. I'm not sure if they would have killed him or not, but should have at least been a trade of summoners. 100 Thieves, though, down 3 flashes, and we'll see if Akaadian wants to make a move to try to punish any of that.
Let's see. I mean, yeah, it's 3 flashes down for 1 off that play. Like that is absolutely huge. It's a lot of map pressure that TSM can cash in on. So
yeah,
eyes on Akaadian for sure.
I mean, he has flash. His Predator will be back up pretty shortly. He has ultimate, so quiet early game here for Akaadian, but he is now set up well to try to look for a play that certainly could result in a kill. And TSM sitting on this Ocean Dragon is going to be feeling so good about their chances going forward in the laning phase. Zven doesn't have to wait for the Essence Reaver to really have that additional regen to span out the spells. That can be pretty helpful, but it is amazing. Making another move up to this top side. We'll see.
Right here, double E into stun, and just sejuani follows through. You just always kill him with the stun right there. Into the ult. He's going to flash to make sure he lands it. Good damage coming across there. Bruggley trying to run away. Finds a bit of CC. Yeah, the healing was enough, actually. I'm not sure Amazing had to burn the flash. The ult would have already landed. And they don't have the chase down. Bruggley walks away.
Yeah, they did not have the damage to actually burst him down there. Broken Blade, that Deathbringer stance auto heals you quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then with the ultimate active, any Q, any sort of damage you get out heals you for a lot there. This is, not a solo Q, Ignite, Renekton, or anything. They don't have a healing debuff at this point in the game, but still, at the very least, they push him back, and you always are a little bit nervous to TP back to lane, knowing that they could still be waiting there.
Yep.
So it will be a turret plate for FakeGod, and it will be Broken Blade push back to base, but Broken Blade, credit to him, he is withstanding this pressure very, very well.
Yeah, really good stuff. He's only down 13 CS and has to sacrifice so many waves so far this game. One plate taken, you can see still a 600 gold lead because of the turret damage. That is still paying some dividends up there, but it is TSM overall. Look at the game state. TSM up 600 gold. You can see a 3-camp lead for Akaadian, 10 CS lead for Bjergsen, 10 CS lead for Zven. Top's winning, but the rest of the map's going to TSM.
Yeah, and you're not even winning by much, right? And he's actually going to hold on to his TP to play for the rest of the map, so he is going to miss most of that wave that just crashed. As he walks back to lane. So they will have TP advantage. So now TSM is going to have to play with respect to the fact that renekton could join into any bot side plays. This should give them priority on the next dragon as well, but that wind dragon isn't the highest priority, so I don't think TSM is really going to be too concerned about it.
Okay. 500 gold difference. Drake spawning in 20 seconds. TSM has been the one that's ended up the better side of the bot lane. They got the sort of steal on the Drake the first time around, and this time around they're just pushing the lane better, so that just is going to feel comfortable. Akaadian, not in vision of that ward. Waiting for the next gank, but of course now he's on what you could argue is the wrong side of the map with his Drake coming up. Herald, of course, also an option.
Yeah, they also may have just made the call, hey, we're not actually going to play for Dragon because we have TP disadvantage. So,
sure.
If you go to top side and you get a kill or a force, on FakeGod, then maybe you can look for something. But otherwise, it would be very brave to try to go for that sort of play, knowing renekton can join and Aatrox cannot. So I think that Akaadian is making the call, hey, if they go for Dragon, we lose it, but maybe we get a kill or maybe we get Rift Herald to trade on the top side.
Akaadian reveals himself going through some wards. He's not going to start that Herald himself, but keep in mind, though, right now, Ryu has lane pressure, and Akaadian's still on a ward. He can easily be stopped here.
Yeah, and it is 100 Thieves actually pulling off. So, but even with that startup, he made them stop doing Dragon, right? There was actually, sejuani as well as the braum over by that Dragon pit. So now they're going to make the call to kind of move up towards this top side and look towards that neutral objective. But that means their top laner could join a potential fight.
He's going to cash back into this game by knocking down a couple more plates. You can see one just fell in the mid lane. As Bjergsen's going to get his recall stop, but TSM very close to getting those down to the bottom side as well. Zven might have missed local gold on that second plate dropping. It was at 5 HP when he last hit it, and then I might not have stayed for the next wave. But regardless, you're still seeing a 400 gold lead to TSM. Overall, their lanes are going well. Broken Blade actually shrinking the lead in topside. Only 4 CS down now against FakeGod. As Drake has started once again, 100 Thieves this time, it actually works out for him.
Yeah, and without the mid-jungle shenanigans going bad for Bjergsen, he's actually winning in farm in this matchup. Still being pushed in as expected by the Corki, so hasn't really been able to get out to a side lane and make anything happen there. But at the very least, holding even in farm, and we'll see if they can kind of activate him later on and start to move Bjergsen around with this TF ultimate.
The gold lead right now is basically the math of TF passive. 485 gold swindled is basically the gold lead there for TSM, so that is kind of that at work. Overall, actual earned gold would be basically identical as a result. And you can see now the next attempted play is Zven and Smoothie could look aggressive, and now it's towards the top side. Now it's FakeGod's turn to be ganked, and can he outplay this one? Has the ult on, taking a lot of damage, but he's going to have the regen. He's going to burn 1 TP from a teammate as Ryu shows up, and that dive will be stopped. True shot barrage even there to make sure it's even nicer is amazing. Gonna get himself a stun. That's damage towards Akaadian. 300 HP on this guy. And oh, FakeGod, you gotta be careful. Flashes in, finds the play, but not yet the kill. Ryu finally answers, and it's Broken Blade, a double kill for Corki. Big play out of FakeGod, and it converts.
Yeah, really nicely done there. Flashing in, landing the Q on 3, gets a lot of healing back there. And 100 Thieves respond to the TSM play. The members making the proactive plays, it hasn't been working out. It's been the counterpunch more effective so far this game, and now 100 Thieves, 2 kills to 0. They're going to be pushing up in this top lane as well. And theoretically, they actually could kill this. There's no teleport to answer. We'll see how much damage Ryu can get down. But without turret plates that kind of help the defense there, he's going to at the very least get it quite low and could actually just get it if he commits.
He's that feeling for Corki. You're out of rockets. You can't just keep turning on Trinity Force over and over again. It costs like no mana, but they weren't stacked up.
So here this is one more time. FakeGod creating a lot of space for himself with the slice and dice, buying the time. You know, they went in a little bit disjointed. Akaadian was not there right as the TF ultimate comes in, which is what you would have wanted. But then amazing. Remember, this is a full AP Gragas. He's very squishy. Look at him just getting shredded by a couple hits there from Ryu. Then FakeGod kiting back, flashes in, Q on 3, and the healing just barely enough with the Triumph heals coming through as well to skirt out of there and keep himself alive.
Thank you, Triumph, for the survival right there, and it means 600 gold now puts 100 Thieves in the driver's seat here.
And it also means Shojin complete. That is a big power spike there for the renekton. You can now start, you know, with the proper weaving of your autos during your ultimate to get multiple rotations of your stun out. And it gets so hard to actually 1v1 at that point in the game. So I would say this is one of the most important item completions as far as additional power, you know, from components to the actual finished item.
96 versus 108, the respective cooldowns of the top laners right now. So it's a trade of ults. That's pretty good for FakeGod. Gets some decent damage across. Gonna have another stun pretty soon right here. Broken Blade gets the heal. Does not find the knockup though. They find all the stuns, and it's just so easy to chase him down. The matchup finally paying off, and top lane turret will be first of the game here for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, and that is huge. That's the power of the Shojin right there. 2 stun rotations. The constant chase down from the slice and dice, as well as you're resetting. Your W counts as multiple autos, which is resetting the cooldowns in and of itself. So that is so strong. Cashing in on that kill, cashing in on first turret. This could be the kind of lead that FakeGod needs to now start really making a bigger difference in this game.
A nice true shot barrage will give Zven 75 mana, but make him stop the recall. A little bit of time lost right there is clears the rest of the wave out and keeps stacking on up. An exciting game in front of us here as Akaadian just takes his jungle. Yeah,
now Executioner's grabbed up here for FakeGod as well. He is playing for the 1v1. This is, you know, the kind of build you're going for to dominate. You know, cutting down on all that Aatrox healing. Very likely will build into a Black Cleaver second after this. And then you're on 40% CDR with the cooldowns being reset from Shojin. And it really does get very difficult to actually deal with this. So you can see TSM, you know, rotating multiple members here on the map up towards the top side. You know, multiple people are here to support Broken Blade in the case of any potential gank and maybe even threaten for the Rift.
Well, 3 up here. FakeGod does have the ulti. Broken Blade not just yet. Here comes the first attempted plays, puts the skills down. FakeGod getting ult now as well. TF now here. 4 versus 1. This is going to be dangerous. Goodbye. The entirety of TSM shows up at top lane, and FakeGod this time will indeed die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if 2's not enough, try 3. If 3's not enough, try 5, I guess.
Yeah.
That one worked out well for TSM. Able to bait him in and knock him down as the TP comes in from Zven. The TF ultimate comes out, and that kill can lead to this potential, you know, Rift Herald, which would be really nice for them. But it looks like Aphromoo and Amazing in the area is enough to dissuade them.
Yeah. Well, in the immortal words of Reginald, gods can bleed, yo, and finally TSM able to kill him and get a turret after it as well. So this is TSM finally on the board with a little bit of something. Only 500 gold down. But with all that effort, Bang was alone in the bottom lane. This is several waves Zven has lost. This is a turret that goes down in answer as well. And even mid lane had pressure first by 100 Thieves. They put this turret down about 40%.
Yeah, Ryu was staying in mid lane, so going to get a little bit of CS there for himself. Looking like Bjergsen is going towards Wit's End as the second item here. going to be pretty strong both against the Corki as well as the sejuani. You know, Ezreal has a fair bit of mixed damage also, so you know, it seems like a pretty reasonable item, but you are losing out on the rapid fire, which one of the really strong things there is just the additional range for your gold card, and that is one of the kind of key components about finding picks, finding additional little bits of engage from that TF.
And again, they're scouting now towards the top side. Rift Herald not going to be claimed here by TSM's side. Akaadian having a hard enough time soloing it and doesn't have the damage nor the map pressure to sit around long enough. That'll reset once more and despawns in just about a minute. So maybe no one gets the Herald this time around.
Yeah, looking like with the reset from 100 Thieves as well, likely no one will be grabbing that. Someone's got to get down to this bottom side, though, and answer the Aatrox. Pretty slow on the lane assignments, honestly, from 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
You know, they could have actually sent Bang down to clear this out. You know, they could have had FakeGod make the rotation earlier. As a result, could just lose this turret. At the very least, it's going to get really low here, so a bit of a costly, slow rotation.
Oh, they're going to try right now. Here's the stun. Here's the TP. There's the ult burn now as well. Here comes the rest of the squad, though, as TP's going to be under the turret. Look at the timing. Bjergsen's on TF under the turret, and he will die. Look out for the next stun as Broken Blade's running. He might get stunned, but he's out of sejuani's range. The Q not putting him into there in time, and just barely gets over the wall. But how about the second round? No jump to be had, and just barely walks away.
Yeah, great timing on that sejuani ultimate to knock down Bjergsen, but 100 Thieves, you know, do come out on top on that fight. They can't kill Broken Blade. They will get the dragon and potentially even this mid lane turret.
Ryu is safe. He's impervious to CC. The package always makes him safe, so knocks that one down. And it's 3-2 in turrets with the Ocean Drake this time actually going their way. And I'd take 100 Thieves in this trade right now. You can see 2,000 gold puts them ahead.
Yeah, that is going to be feeling really, really good for them. Bang now pushing up mid lane. And you know, small little misplay, though, you have to say, from FakeGod that actually could have resulted in an additional kill. We'll talk about that after.
Ryu takes some damage, but his team is around, and Akaadian might have been up more than he can shoot. Has to burn the flash. Stop watches the knock-up, and ult to get the team out, so will stay alive, but that is resources down.
But in that bottom lane play, you know, we did see FakeGod actually utilize his stun before he used the ultimate, so you're not getting those additional autos for the cooldown resets. So you'll see he actually uses his combo, then ults. So he could have actually had his stun and abilities up a little bit faster, which may have allowed them to get the additional damage for an extra kill. Either way, great play from Amazing there, timing out the ultimate perfectly on Bjergsen, who was TPing in, and I don't think he was expecting Amazing to show up. Yeah, Broken Blade is able to slink out, but it does cost the mid lane turret. It's a kill as well as the dragon.
And Amazing was so close on the E reactivation range. It's actually pretty short. He burned the Q, said, okay, I have to flash, but he flashed once he was already in range of the wall, and if he had burned it sooner, they probably killed Broken Blade and get a second kill. So wanted to see the cooldown. End of the day, got the worst of both worlds. Sometimes it breaks that way.
Yeah, it's hard to know if he had the E cooldown up. He may have been waiting for that to flash because he could have used
well,
it.
Well, it has no cooldown. It just stacks, right?
My mistake, yeah.
Yeah. So, oh well, burns the flash late. That's what it is. And regardless, you've now got Amazing back on the map playing for the top side. 004. Precursor to James Bond.
Yeah, starting out very well. And we seem to see a lot of Corkis doing well these days, it feels like. Another strong performance here on the Corki from Ryu. He has this Essence Favor completion, your kind of preferred build.
Yeah,
here,
I love that build.
For the additional AD, you know, that you're going to get when you additionally build up that IE. Your Rocket Poke is going to do a lot more. You have 40% CDR for the additional, you know, cooldown on a lot of your abilities. And also, never running out of mana, pretty good.
Pretty good. Trust me, it's important. As now the bot lane is being attacked. 2v1. He's going to find a lot of crowd control here, and now it's time for FakeGod to find the target. Find some CC, but he's getting his healing cut, so he doesn't do very much right here. Looks for the second one. Does get another stun. Tries to get the big kill, and finally, Broken Blade gets the slam, and they get the 2v1 kill.
Yeah, that would have been a massive turn if FakeGod could have got that. Oh!
I think he lives through that, but...
I think he lives through that too, but better safe than sorry here for Smoothie. TSM, they do get the 2v1 kill, but you're seeing the power of FakeGod. With this Shojin, you know, draws two members down, almost able to actually take that fight. Was pretty close. Now, I wonder, could Ryu have actually TP'd in? You know, would he been able to respond to that immediately? Because if he arrives, it feels like it's probably 2 free kills.
Yeah, I think he wins that one. They're both at 25% right there. But as it is, it's TSM inching their way back into this game. The lead's still 2K, but you can see they've still got the moves to be made. Wit's End done for the Twisted Fate of Bjergsen, and the power spikes continue as Zven's on 2.5 items. That's a pretty comfortable spot for the Sivir. IE will be especially big for the next piece, but even now is going to feel all right.
Yeah, so here this is one more time. So He was actually pretty close to the TF as well as the Gragas, so maybe couldn't have come in. And perhaps they didn't actually realize how close FakeGod would get in this fight. When his second round of cooldowns does come up, the second stun makes you think for a second, hey, maybe he could do it, but
yeah.
A good E backwards with the Q. Broken Blade does clean it up, and then Ezreal ult, forcing that flash out from Smoothie, probably would have lived, but definitely didn't want to risk going down there.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage, at least in current era, is 620 damage for Bang. After MR, probably survives with the 500 something he had.
Close though.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth
It's
blowing
okay.
the Summoner, right? You definitely want to be sure about that. Ryu though, looking to knock down this turret. One more auto remaining on it, so split push Corki definitely being very effective. Bjergsen has not really been able to get much done on the map. It feels like 2 times in 2 days, kind of locked under his turret against this Corki matchup.
And now Zven just walks backwards. Aphromoo doesn't bother to throw the Q out. Okay, he does it later, but still means nothing.
Yeah, but you get the ult out. It's going to be pretty nice, forcing that off of Sivir, just with the kind of implied threat of them being there. Third Ocean of the game will be coming up shortly, as 100 Thieves could look to play towards that, but I don't think it's going to be the most impactful this game unless there is kind of one of those long extended plays. There's not a ton of poke, on the side of TSM, for example, if 100 Thieves were able to grab it. Would feel pretty nice for TSM, though, to be able to take that extra regen when you are up against an Ezreal as well as this kind of poke build Corki, who are going to be harassing you quite a bit.
Yeah, truly does matter a whole lot. Bjergsen, of course, doesn't even have reliable access to blue buff, so that split push on the TF, you can sometimes run out there as well. If you can't lock enough blue cards to refund all of his mana pool, and you can see Bjergsen at about 20% mana pool, but he's recalling. He's fine for the next fight. Drake is spawning now. It's 100 Thieves who are first to push in the mid lane, and they'll be first to walk down to the river as well. They actually already are the ones with the vision control. Ryu now in a battle. This could be dangerous. Yeah, has to burn the package. Times that wrong. He just dies with explosive cast, so yeah. TSM now back in control of the North River as Amazing takes down this Drake with no problems. FakeGod shoves in the bot lane. But the North River is the part that matters. The Ocean Drake seems to be a formality. Looks like no steal's going to happen, but Baron going to be important. Second Ocean not terribly crucial, so it's a minor power up.
But with no one actually responding to FakeGod, TSM are going to have to either send someone down there immediately or start the Baron. They have to do some sort of kind of threat. Perhaps their answer is just going to be pushing hard on top lane. It seems like that is going to be the choice for now. 5 members from TSM converging in that area. FakeGod will continue to push, and 100 Thieves don't have any vision around here right now. But if they can actually keep track of if TSM have started this up or not, FakeGod can just keep going.
Yep, he's got demolished. That's the first turret down right there. So you can see it's now 5-2 in turrets, and FakeGod not being answered. Has max CDR already. Shojin plus Black Cleaver. He's very powerful right here. Still has the healing reduction when needed. Knocks it down, walks back over, has the full level lead over Broken Blade. That is not a 1v1 that TSM easily win.
Yeah, definitely not. And with Broken Blade actually showing in that lane, it's 100 Thieves' turn to move in and try to clear out this vision around the Baron area. So they are now taking control of this top river quadrant. You can see all of these wards being spread out in this area. Kind of 3 pink wards in that area. They're looking to engage.
CC, a lot of damage. Braum chains through. They knock down Akaadian. Had the flash, couldn't burn it in time. What a great kill. Now mid's under fire. With them also knock that one down as well. 6-2 in turrets. And 100 Thieves firing on all cylinders. 4,000 gold up.
And they didn't even expend that much for that kill, so they can still actually threaten this Baron. Akaadian is down. At the very least, you could try to get some of the TSM members to face check or come over to you.
Find a slow. They're going to
coming in. They're looking to
5v4. Looking for the flash for the slow. Looking for the kill. Big damage out of Ryu. Now into the back. That is Broken Blade. Wants to knock that Aphromoo. Can't do it just yet. But now Smoothie is surrounded. He is certain to die. That's a kill picked up. Now 4 on the board for Ryu. And back to the North River they go.
Yeah, and in these extended plays, Double Ocean is actually really starting to matter. You can see that kicking in, healing them back up. And they are going to be looking to bait once more. They know Akaadian is up, so I'm not sure they want the 50-50, but if you could get another kill.
No, they find Zven, they find the slow, and Zven goes down in the same spot as last time. 100 Thieves pick up yet another kill.
Yeah, TSM was slow to pull the trigger there on the Destiny. They wanted to hold on to it. Bjergsen popped it a split second too late, it looked like. Now they're just making the call. Baron is 100 Thieves because TSM is running straight down to that bottom side, so it feels like they're now going to be kind of stuck in one of these split push crazy games that we did see from them yesterday. The question is, will 100 Thieves make the same mistakes that Echobox did to give them a chance to get back in? Because 100 Thieves thus far are looking really good. Now of 6K with a Baron and a very powerful siege here, it feels like, with all the poke they have. TSM is going to be in a tough spot.
Yes, they are. 100 Thieves looking sharp now here, as you can see once again, these picks.
Yeah, this is just great play. You know, they know that TSM didn't have anything in the area to actually spot this out. Look at that Destiny. It happened as they were jumping onto Zven. So, you know, Bjergsen, I'm not sure if the cooldown wasn't up or if he just wasn't sure they wanted to expend it. It's a hard choice because if you waste it and then they go to Baron, you have nothing, right? So, you know, great timing there from 100 Thieves. They are now pushing up mid lane with 4 members. They do need to be a little bit careful until FakeGod has pressure because this is a potential 5v4 for TSM, so this could be a window of opportunity.
And they might try to go for it right now. The renekton is not nearby, but TSM do not pull the trigger. They let this wave be cleared, and they're not going to go for this opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, Zven got poked out pretty heavily, which does make it tough to then look for that fight. And now with this siege cannon working on the turret, and with FakeGod almost at the turret himself, the jaws are kind of closing in here on TSM. We'll see if they want to make a call to go for a fight or if they're going to be willing to let this chip continue on the turrets.
Well, 2 of TSM's ults are down. Bjergsen and Zven both are missing those, so it's not an easy way in as the siege continues. The push keeps happening. That turret is a couple of good cannon shots away from dropping down. If they want to tank it and do the backdoor auto attack, they can as well. Not willing to pull the trigger just yet, but it certainly is possible. That turret will regen.
Yeah. Don't think they need to rush it just yet. They could try to get some more poke. And I think now they will step forward and knock this down.
Amazing finds the stun to start it out. Akaadian almost dead right there, but Smoothie, his days are numbered, and it's down to 0. He's gone already, 1 for 0, 5v4 in the map. Inhibitor's gonna be gone already, and a new wave is coming down to the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, the wave is timed out actually very well here. 400 Thieves, they have that building. This is gonna be very likely 2 inhibitors for 100 Thieves. I don't think TSM can really contest here whatsoever. They're down a member, and they're just so much weaker right now. Double Ocean actually coming in pretty huge for 100 Thieves as they're just constantly regenning back up from these skirmishes. They're really playing to the strengths of that dragon.
Really, really nice. Next Drake spawns in 20 seconds. Still almost 2 minutes of the Baron buff left on top as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of map to claim here. They're gonna reset first, get the money, and then go for that Drake.
It's actually crazy how fast they were able to pull that off. You know, TSM really had no ability to actually mount a defense. You know, generally you see if the inhibitors get cracked, it's towards the end of the Baron buff. They could still potentially triple inhib TSM before the Baron buff actually ends. They have a minute and a half remaining. Are going to be able to take the dragon at the same time. 100 Thieves looking very, very good and in full control.
A lot of great items coming through. A Knight's Vow even over the top for Amazing. Does have the War Mogs, but adding even more CDR and really making sure his backline stays safe.
Yeah, and I think when you're this far ahead, just go for a cheap item completion like the Knight's Vow, some additional power for your Corki, who's monstrously strong. 4 items now on this Corki, and you know, Amazing scouting out the sides, making sure they can't get flanked.
Ooh, bang, arcade shifted forward. That could have been dangerous. They're gonna go for the play right now. Explosive cast only separates the team. FakeGod gets pulled in, pops a stopwatch, but it's Bjergsen just dropping, immediately dead. 5v4, the chase down continues. Amazing wants to find a slow. They're gonna get the kill onto Smoothie, and now knocks up Zven. Flashing forward is the braum. They're gonna find a bit more knockup, and now Akaadian is running for dear life, but 2 more autos will kill him, and Ryu is unstoppable. 11-2. TSM never stood a chance. Win lane, win game for FakeGod. 100 Thieves will knock them down. They'll claim the turrets, they'll claim the Nexus, and they are close to playoff position.
A critical win here for 100 Thieves, and they are clean in closing it out. Just past 31 minutes, gonna grab the victory here over TSM. Now just 1 game back of Golden Guardians and Optic. That was a huge win for this team that so desperately wants that final playoff spot.
Started a run that 100 Thieves absolutely needed. 0-1 against every other team remaining in their schedule. They got the first upset here, knocking down TSM. Those are the 2 games of them. And hoping that in week 9, they can get the rest of the space they need to get into top 6.
And we've got to remember, thanks to the weekly wager, we're going to have some clowns on the desk.
Yep.
Who did not predict for the 100 Thieves win. Mark looking pretty smart now.
Yeah. Mark's the smart one. Well done to 100 Thieves. They have turned their season around. They made the choice. We've got to bench someday. We've got to put Ryu in. FakeGod's going to fill in. And he was good today. And he's been slowly but surely improving on the LCS stage. And it's the 100 Thieves who are poised to make the playoff run.
Yeah, and I mean, Broken Blade, I think, withstood so much of that pressure in the top lane very well early on. But, you know, it's impressive to see the 100 Thieves have the confidence in Broken Blade to try to play, or rather in FakeGod, to try to play through him against Broken Blade.
Yeah.
You know, certainly one of the better top laners in the league, and TSM, a tough opponent, and 100 Thieves kind of just go right at them with this fairly aggressive draft where, you know, you feel like TSM should know that they're going to go to top lane. And
Ezreal,
still,
of course they are.
You know, they weren't really able to deal with it very well. You know, Bjergsen was locked under his turret 2 games in a row now. The Corki versus TF matchup certainly has not been working out for TSM. Corki more effective in the early game, more effective in the late game. You know, the TF pick just never really got unlocked, and whether that's something to do where they're expecting it to look differently as far as, you know, mid-jungle 2v2s that are going to open up the TF to roam or what. The only time they really got, you know, out of the lane, you know, they go for that 3v1 dive top, and it actually gets turned around for 2 kills for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, got to say, props to 100 Thieves for playing the mid game well, playing the map control well. They split pushed when important, and they team fought really well. They give up 2 kills the entire game. And one of them was a 5v1 tower dive.
Yeah.
Was half the kills in the game for TSM. So, hey, impressed by 100 Thieves. 1 more game to make up with 2 to play. We'll see if they can do it, but now to give us more insight on that win, the Tigers is standing by with an interview with the jungler.
I am indeed standing by with the amazing, after that victory for 100 Thieves. You have to be feeling pretty good about it. But straight from the draft all the way through, as a collective, your roster seemed to be really on top of things. So how were you able to shut down things like the Aatrox that's been doing so well with other comps?
I mean, when I saw the Big Ben, we're honestly not scared anymore. Like, I saw my sejuani to Gragas matchup, and I just knew I was going to win. So if I can dictate the early game, I feel like we have such an easy time to actually play the game. So after the Big Ben, I was really comfortable.
And you pretty much have to be focused throughout the entirety of the rest of this regular season because you're going back and forth with the Golden Guardians, trying to get those wins for that playoff spot. So what is your mentality going through with the next consecutive games to keep going off of this momentum?
I mean, I kind of, like last night especially, I thought about it, especially after I lost. I don't want my season to end that early. It's really boring to be in the off-season, not be playing games. When I see everyone being like at Worlds in the playoffs, whatever it is, I want to feel that intensity again, right? Being in front of a lot of fans, like having those stakes be really high for me. And I think that's kind of like what I'm going off of. I don't know what teams do, but I think today at least we showed the same kind of intensity that I kind of wanted out of the team. And I think come forward, we're going to do the same.
Well, and what you were saying right there, what we've seen from you in the past, your passion is very clear. And many have credited you with this turnaround for 100 Thieves ever since joining them earlier in the split. So what is your assessment of the team's synergy right now after making all of these slow, gradual improvements?
I think we're getting to the point where each one of us is really comfortable with one another. It's been a lot of hardships throughout the year, but especially Aaron, I think in the beginning he was kind of not confident in himself. He didn't think he belonged here. And today especially showed that he belongs here just as anyone else on the team. So I'm really happy for him, and I think come forward he's going to be like wrecking faces even more so.
Well, it's been such a pleasure watching the journey of you and the rest of the team throughout the split, and I'm sure everyone is excited to see where you go from here on out. But for more breakdown on that game, let's send things over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, the Tigress. We'll do some breaking down of the game, but more than that, we'll be having some fun with Crumbs here, looking like a clown. Give us the reveal, Avalie.
Right, spin.
She's been working hard on this for
For the TSM.
This is the face of TSM.
This is how TSM is feeling right now, right? This is the embodiment of the TSM
This is the
fan.
NA pride we've got, people.
Avalie, this was a masterful job. You did.
Yeah, it was a masterful game too. Good job, TSM. This is your fault.
This is no, this is not TSM's fault. This is your fault. You predicted them.
They should have won.
If you had chosen 100 Thieves, you would have avoided this entirely, my friend. Let's talk about this game as seriously as we can.
Absolutely.
Nothing more serious than the Twitter combo, right?
Yes, top lane. It was the rematch that everyone was waiting
I'm
for.
honestly digging this. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah, it is. It's a good look for you. So FakeGod versus
I do
Broken Blade
children's
top lane.
parties too, by the way.
We're not going to get anywhere in this segment now with Crumbs.
Let us go.
We're going to do some real analysis. You just sit here and look pretty, okay?
Oh.
All right, great.
So for people who missed it, the last time they played, there was this big meme around FakeGod lose lane, win game. So he tweeted win lane, lose game after playing Broken Blade and winning. And then Broken Blade clapped back really hard with this tweet. And he was not aware it was a meme. We talked to Broken Blade on the desk like a week or two later, and he was laughing about it. But we got the rematch finally. And once again, it was a big counter pick in the top lane. And that's where a lot of the early attention went. So we actually got to see a great rematch of the kind of meme hate. Is it unbridled rage or is it a miscommunication? Who knows?
Simple miscommunication. I love it, though. A second time here, the red side team today is getting the Aatrox. And this time around, though, 100 Thieves opting for the renekton as their response into what has become a very powerful pick here in the LCS.
Nothing funny about getting outplayed this hard.
You're right.
On TSM side.
There
I mean,
is
you're out there
nothing funny about
taunting,
it.
you're doing all this stuff, you're tweeting at people, and then suddenly your jungler can't help you out when you've got a top lane champion that is currently 3-0. Not a single loss in an A. TSM
Currently 3-1, my friend.
Finding ways to lose on Aatrox right now. No one else was able to do it but them.
Well, and initially the ganks started coming in, and Broken Blade was out playing all of them. It looked great, and it was kind of scary. And then all of a sudden, 100 Thieves kept going time and time again and didn't relent. And finally, they got the renekton far enough ahead. The Aatrox is shut down. The TF pick wasn't able to. What are you laughing?
Did you just catch yourself? Look at
It didn't work out, is where we're going with TSM.
Yeah. So what happened, Crumbs? What happened for TSM? Where did it all go wrong?
Oh boy, I mean,
How did you end up the way you are right now?
Well, if you missed it, I thought TSM would win, but based off of just the last games and everything, I can't even speak with this nose.
No.
But yeah, TSM. They don't have anywhere to look for getting advantages. That's the problem. And then when you think, oh, can we abuse top lane? You commit 4 people. Listen, one of the rules of playing in League of Legends is that you want to have, at the very most, a +1 advantage. That means if there's 2 people, you send 3. If there's 4, you send 5. If there's 1, you send 2. They sent 4 people to try to kill 1 renekton. Do you realize how much you waste in the map when you do that? And every other lane has nothing to do. So 100 Thieves gets all these advantages from just TSM making plays. TSM is making plays that are so bad that 100 Thieves wins out of them.
Angry Crumbs Clown is my favorite version.
Clowns are supposed to be funny.
Crumbs. Yeah.
No, they're scary. They're from nightmares.
So on the flip side, while we're talking about some of the bad TSM decision-making potentially, 100 Thieves look like old-school Aphromoo shot calling in my mind, where they get a pick-off, they get the close immediate objective in the mid lane, and then they fall back and just repeat gank something and keep putting pressure on TSM. So there's never this reset that comes in. And it's like, okay, there's a bit of Baron pressure. We want to get the wave pushing, but there's a nice TP flank. Now we've picked Smoothie as well after picking Akaadian. Okay, but Akaadian's going to spawn, so they're not going to be able to do the Baron. But then they go right back to that again, keep baiting it, and Sven's the next one that walks forward.
This is TSM just falling trapped to their own things once again. You can't team fight with Twisted Fate. This is not a 5 ARAM comp. It's never going to work. You're always going to lose. It's just the way these champions play out. You literally don't have an ultimate that gives you a teamfight presence. Corki has 4 abilities that help you out. TF is about outnumbering people. TSM is playing Twisted Fate like it was Corki or Azir. Sit in the mid lane and try to NARAM with everybody else, and then surprise, you lose this fight. It's like, oh, what do we lose? How do we lose it? Because you had the wrong champion.
I think you got to give more credit to 100 Thieves, though.
Oh, great for them, absolutely. They did it well. But
yeah, they're forcing the TF to come to them. It's
I'm
not like
frustrated with TSM because they did this yesterday as well. They played Twisted Fate, and they chose to team fight instead of looking for ways to play the side lanes and outnumber people.
And I think that's totally fair. I think it's very fair to have frustrations around a team that had a 2-0 lead in our spring finals, right? And now is in a position to miss playoffs, quite possibly, while struggling to find their identity and figure out how they want to play the game strategically. But again, I think it is important to note, as Mark mentioned, that we should throw credit towards 100 Thieves, especially in the way that Amazing was talking there in the interview about this building of confidence that they've really been working on over the more recent weeks. And I think, to your point around the macro calls, what's impressive to me is the idea that they're eliminating risk from the plays that they're making. They're not going to actually start the Baron. They're saying, let's go for the safer version of this play, which is to bait the fight, look for the fight, and we'll rinse repeat that with lower, downside.
And that's kind of the hallmark Aphromoo shot calling, that kind of safe gameplay, the really annoying one that 100 Thieves was known for back in spring last year when they were at their best. but now they actually have the tools to get ahead to force people to come to them.
More importantly, though, as Crumbs played sport here in getting dressed up like a clown, one Mr. Kobe will not be escaping his fate.
No way! He's joining us?
Oh, well, at some point. I don't know exactly when it'll happen, but I promise you, Kobe will deliver on his clownish bet for TSM to win that game. When we return, though, it's a potential playoff preview as Cloud9 and Team Liquid clash in Game 3. You won't want to miss it.